How often do you spend, in one spot? I feel like you're, I was reading up about you. You're always jumping.
Whew. Everywhere, man. I go wherever Russ goes. So if we're here during season, yeah, we're here the whole season. Off season, San Diego, LA, China, Brazil.
In season, you're still traveling with him?
I still travel, yeah. So I go to all the away games. Yeah,
okay.
every away game I go with him. We do some type of work while we're wherever we're at.
And the organization, like the PTs, the strength coaches, they don't have any pushback on that. They're
no, we're kind of hand in hand with them, which is
awesome.
pretty rare.
Yeah.
Which is pretty rare with trainers, outside trainers, and team trainers and stuff. But we got a good connection. I know the Seahawks trainers and strength coaches pretty well. So we got a good connection. Yeah.
That's cool, because Don and I were talking about that, because in some places you get where it's too many chefs, where you might have some advice, or you're working with something and it's completely opposite of what they want, and then there's a lot of headbutting, and then it's like it just becomes uncomfortable. But that's good.
Absolutely.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah, no doubt.
So you've been working with Russell for 2 years now?
3 years, yeah.
3 years.
3
okay.
years. Yep.
So you started with him at 25 years old, right?
I did. Correct.
So and I'm paraphrasing, but I'm hoping you can fill in the gaps for me. You knew a dude that's now the performance director at Nike. He sent you a text and he said, "Hey man, Russell Wilson's looking for a trainer." You hung out with Russell for the day. You kind of ran through some drills. End of the day, he's offering you the gig.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it went. Short story, yeah.
How does that come about, though? How does the guy from Nike know that you're the guy?
So Ryan Flaherty, he's the one who I trained under. Worked for him at Prolific Athletes down in Carlsbad, California, for about 3 years right out of college. Interned for him my senior year, and then worked with him, kind of his apprentice, I guess I would say. Learned under him, kind of took my athletic background and put it together. I met Russ briefly when he was down there for one of the off seasons, training with Ryan. Just very briefly, kind of have a handshake and then bye. A couple of years later, when Ryan went to Nike, Russ was looking for someone full time. Ryan threw my name in the hat to his people, and I don't know, a month later, Russ gave me a text that said he was on his bye week and told me to come up to LA to his house and meet the family. Put him through a workout that night and hired me that night.
Let me ask you, do you, right before you go into that meeting, do you do like push-ups right by the car?
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. Had to get my pump in. No, the funny thing is I lost a bet about maybe a couple weeks before. It had a bleached blonde hair, like crazy bleached hair, like just looked like this surf rat kid coming into this meeting. So I kept a hat on for most of the time. Then we went to the gym and then we went to the sauna. So I had to release the hair, and he saw that. So he started making fun of me instantly. But no, right away I think it was more of a meeting of testing likeness, kind of our like-mindedness, and if we would get along, and then just kind of my background with sports and who I trained under and stuff like that. So
you predominantly work with him. You are with Russell. That's it. You don't work with any other individuals.
Yeah, full time with the family, with him and Sierra, and I actually do a lot of stuff with the little ones now. Which has been fun. Yeah.
So can you go through your training methodology a little bit? And I don't mind you, if you're okay with the two, talking about how you set, a lot of strength coaches who are not with an organization, it is a rarity that you're able to go in and gel really well with that organization. I think it's a beautiful thing. And I wish more organizations would learn from it, because very rarely is a strength coach off season traveling with a player in season. I just don't see it a lot. And I've been doing this for over 20 years. So I'd love to hear your opinion on it.
Yeah, so to start, Russ has we have a great performance team for who works for him. We got Janet, who's his PT, Carrie, who's a massage therapist, chef, and then Elena, who's kind of a movement yoga specialist. So we all work hand in hand, which is, again, rare. You don't get that kind of group too often. So, but yeah, my methodologies is really off how he's feeling. It's almost like a week to week diagnosis, really. It's like he plays, if he's banged up, we kind of go through the whole healing process and getting him back to 100%. I work kind of in season mostly proprioception, balance, stability, kind of strengthening and getting back to where he feels really, really good and to get back on the field again. He hasn't missed a game, so it's it's working.
Yeah.
So
does it kind of make you hesitant to either try new things, or do you want to just stay the course? Like, I'm just curious as to how, you approach it, because it's working. So
we have our stuff that we do every single time that he loves, and it's kind of just a pre-game type of feel. So we do that stuff, and then he's always looking for new stuff. He's looking for more advantages and what can take him to the top every week. So I always throw a little bit of new things, even just to keep his mind, going, changing it up. He's such a smart dude. So keeping his body up with his mind is a big task.
How about if you're always traveling, and it's a cool, I got two questions. This is a two-parter. One, it's an awesome job, especially for somebody your age, but it's also like, do you ever get exhausted and just be like, I want to just go out on a date with somebody that's living near me, or like, I want to have friends around one area, or you're not there yet?
I kind of go back and forth, but right now I'm happy. There's not too many times where you just get to pack your bag a week before and go to Brazil, or do these things. So I think it's perfect for me. Yeah, I look at the future and I'm like, yeah, I want a family. I want to have kids. All that stuff is in the future. But right now I'm happy.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a unique job, and that actually leads me back into what I wanted to ask was, so before this call happens and before you meet up, what was the plan? Like what you don't just on the objective is not like, I'm gonna link up with Russ and I'm gonna be working with him. So what was it before that?
Yeah, so I was at Prolific Athletes, working with all types of athletes from age 9 to professional athletes, baseball, volleyball. I had a couple AVP players. I was working with everyone, so that's kind of where I thought my career was going to go. I was going to maybe either open up my own gym down in San Diego, or just kind of continue that to see where it led me. And that Texas was kind of perfect timing though. Just to get, this opportunity is pretty crazy. One of the best athletes in the world. So that's kind of where I thought my life was going when I was 24, 25, was just staying with different types of athletes, staying in San Diego. But the fact that it's Russ and in Seattle, I have connections in Seattle. I grew up coming here every summer since I was little. My mom grew up in the area. And now it's back and forth between San Diego and Seattle. So it's kind of a perfect combination for me right now. So
I was reading a couple articles about, what a great year Russell's having and the Seahawks. And I feel like, you deserve more credit. Don't you deserve all of the credit for this?
It's all you.
That'd be nice.
It's all you.
No, it's again, like I said, we have a great team. I work with some awesome people. Again, his PT, massage, movement, it's just so hand in hand. It's really unique, and he gives us credit. He announces it on TV every once in a while. He shouts our names out. He's a good guy.
That's
but cool. He's killing it. He's doing it on his own, but we're there to support him and help him.
So last week, or the last time he played, I'm sure you met with him after. So what is it that you ran him through or didn't run him through? Like, was there a time when he was banged up, or can you give us like an idea of what it is you might do at a session with him?
During the week, or like leading up to the game, or what?
Let's go both.
Yeah. So like a week leading up to the game, he does a lot of body work with his PT, just like shoulder work, kind of recovery stuff, Normatex, all the good juicy stuff. For me, it's just, again, we're not going to do any heavy lifting really. We'll do a lot of band work. We'll do a lot of single leg kind of stability work. I'll throw those new Hiko sticks at him just to get his hand-eye coordination going. I'll put him on a Bosu ball just for a little bit of proprioception. Anything that kind of challenges him and works on his balance, just so he has that feel of 100% in both legs. I kind of call them power leaks. So trying to find those power leaks to where you can feel it and have him back to 100%. So that's just all leading up to the week. Weekend, same type of things. He does his routine movement work with Janet. I get in there, do some med ball work, just rotational stuff. And then he's just focused. He has his headphones on most of the time, and he's ready to go.
So when you put him on a stability ball, isn't that increasing a risk of injury. Is that necessary, or what is the benefit there that you're getting out of it?
Yeah, I'm right next to him. If he were to fall, I would be right there to support him. But he's done it his whole career. We've done it the last 3 years, so he's used to it. Not necessarily a Bosu ball upside down. It sometimes just is on the small part of it, the bouncy part of it. It's not out of control. It's just it's more so just so he can get back on track, really.
Have you had conversations with organizations? Because I've been a strength and conditioning coach for a long time, for about 20 years, and I know sometimes when we're working with professional athletes or even actors and you're prepping them for something, there's always that risk. I mean, here you've got an athlete that's making probably north of $30 million a year, one of the highest paid guys in the NFL, and if there is, some stuff could fall on you. I mean, God forbid this guy's going into games every week and he's getting through it. But if it's a training session, for some reason he does lose focus. I understand Zach's question. I think it's a good one. But I think what you're saying is this is one of the best athletes in the world, and he's very comfortable on it, and you don't really necessarily feel like that you're pushing him beyond that limit, that it's unsafe, correct?
Yeah, I wouldn't push him beyond what he couldn't handle. And again, like you just said, he's going out and facing some of the strongest, fastest guys in the world. And I mean, that's the likelihood on those two scenarios is, he can handle it.
Does it differ with how you've prepped people in the past? Like when you've worked with athletes, like do you put them on a stability ball, or is it something that you?
I personally don't. It's not a tool I really use. But we're training people for different stuff. So I use lower risk things. I think I don't really I know how to Olympic lift. I'm not teaching a lot of Olympic lifting. It's just at the end of the day, I always look at, if I implement this training tool throughout the year, is it really going to get them to their goal that much faster? Especially me working with a lot of golfers. My goal with golfers is it's 100% resiliency because they're in season for 10 months. And I think when you're in season for that long, it starts becoming less about, nonlinear periodization through a 12-month span and trying to peak at certain spots. There's a lot of variables going on, though. So one thing that you did say that I respected was it really depends from week to week because he is coming in. He might be banged up. There might be weeks where he needs a little more of X and a little less of Y. So I think there's a lot of similarities there. But I think at the end of the day, I'm removing as much risk as possible. And I am just trying to allow that athlete to become phenomenal at specific qualities that have a lot of carryover. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good question.
How's your spiral?
Has my spiral or his spiral?
Yours. I figured you had to pick up something here and there. I throw ducks, so it's
this makes you just want to have a passion.
That's the thing is whenever we're on the road, especially off season, I'm catching for him. I'm running routes the whole time. So wherever we're going, I'm catching for him. So got to throw the ball back.
Anything you miss about when you were working with all those different athletes and the kids? Do you ever think about when you're done, or maybe at a different point in your career that you want to go back and revisit that?
Yeah, I love it. I love how versatile it is, and I love the different aspects of different athletes. I love explosiveness. I grew up playing beach volleyball, indoor volleyball, basketball were my main thing. So I love the explosive plyometric type of training. I do miss that, but I get to use a lot of the stuff I know and learn into football and training with Russ. He could have used a little hops on that last play last game, despite hitting that ball down, but we'll work on it. But no, yeah, I do. I miss a lot of that aspect of it. I think in the future, I'll come back to that, and I would love to train all different types of athletes again.
Anybody that's come up to you wanting to use your services and you got to turn them down and be like, nah, man, I'm good full time. So does that happen a lot? Yeah, every day. Yeah, I get Instagram messages all the time. Online programming, whatever that looks like. We'll see what happens in the near future with that kind of stuff. But yeah, people are asking me all the time, and I wish I could help everyone. But right now, my focus is with Russ right now. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Especially out of season, does it kind of slow down a little bit for you? Especially when right after the season, does he get a little bit of a break, and that means you get a break, or are you just full go all the time? You would think, but right after that Dallas Cowboys game last year, it was that night plane ride to San Diego, ready for training the next day in San Diego. Man,
that's impressive.
Yeah. Yeah. That's.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that's. But were you secretly like, oh yeah, totally, let's train?
No doubt. I can't lie to that one.
Yeah. Tell him too, man. You're his coach. Just like, Russ, come on, man. Recover.
Yeah, you can
relax.
Yeah. Listen,
go to Cabo for a week. Chill out. Eat some tacos. Drink some tequila. Like, it's okay.
Here's the thing is we do that. We go to Cabo, but again, it's training there nonstop too. So, but it's the best place to train.
Oh,
but
hell yeah.
No, he's a go-getter, man. He's ready to roll. If he loses like that, he's ready to roll next day.
And so, like, are you kind of, when you do things with him, is it competitive? Do you trying to?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How does? Is he a sore loser when you beat him?
Oh yeah, he doesn't like to talk about it.
Yeah.
We do everything. Tennis, baseball, like Cabo. We'll do everything. We'll do like a round robin of sports. We'll do. He beats me on the home run derby, no doubt, every time. But tennis, pickleball.
Was he a baseball player?
Everything.
Did he play baseball?
He's technically he's on the Yankees right now.
Huh. What's he focusing on nutritionally? So I know he has a chef, right? And you've got your bodywork people, your PT, and we can all put our imagination. But from a dietary standpoint, is it very basic, or is it something that he leans a little bit more towards, according to your
so
team?
He has an outsourced nutritionist, so he works hand in hand with chef. I'm pretty much there to say no to a lot of things, whether it's going out to dinner or traveling. That's my kind of biggest role, is to help him say no to stuff. But for the most part, it's just clean eating. It's just whole foods, real foods, nothing crazy.
Simple.
Yeah.
The way it should be.
Well, yeah. I guess it's like, is there problems when does he eat enough? Like, or does, we were talking with a couple experts not too long ago, and they deal with a lot of athletes, and some of the issues is that they don't eat enough. They think that they're eating almost, from what one of them said, was too clean, because they're just not getting the calories they need. Is that an issue that he runs into?
A couple of years ago, that's kind of what we were like. He was eating a lot and he was eating clean, but we're just trying to figure out his weight and stuff like that. But we went in and they said he needs to eat more. So it's a weird thing. You think you're eating enough, and you're not eating enough. So it's just little things. It's nothing crazy. He's a stout, strong guy. So just finding the right balance with stuff.
We got a couple of things. We can bring in our wheel.
Let's bring in the wheel.
Let's do it. Essentially, if it comes up to any of these things, I'm going to walk you through it, what they mean. But for the most part, it's pretty self-explanatory, but Don's going to give it a spin.
I'm going for it. You ready?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Left-handed.
Here we go.
That was a solid spin.
That was a good spin.
Trivia.
All right, we got trivia. What is Russ's middle name?
Carrington.
Ooh.
I had a feeling. Okay.
Let's go.
All right.
Come on.
What season did Russ have his career high in touchdowns?
2016?
2018. Honestly, I wouldn't have known these either. We threw Carrington in there.
I should know that.
Carrington's good.
Yeah, that was a
It was
good
2018?
one. Yeah, 2018. Oh. And then the last one is, you know what? I'm going to save it in case we get a repeat.
Go for it. I want you to spin it now.
All right, here we go.
Who has a better spin? That's quality.
Did you see the follow through?
No, but you had your foot on there. You were cheating.
All right, so
it's
Oscar speech. Okay, so can I have that belt, please? The Trainer of the Year award. So this is what you get.
Love it.
And we need you to give a 10 to 15 second, maybe 20 second speech about what it is you won for and why you're so proud of the lesson or whatever it is you put forth. So
3,
just
2,
here we go.
1.
You're on.
All right. Well, I'll start with I got an injury. Thanks God for giving me that injury, because it was a lesson learned to put me where I'm at today. Russell gave me the opportunity to be here, and thank you, my friends and family.
All right. Yay! All right, you won.
Well done. Well done.
That was good. Go ahead, Don.
Don't jump in front of me.
I'm not jumping. There we go.
No. Good.
All right, cool.
Who should delete their IG now?
Names. Who is it? Somebody.
I gotta go with AB, just from all the stuff. all the media stuff and what he's been saying.
Oh, Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
we
that
both
makes
looked at
sense.
each other.
I mean, is that something that you guys talk about too? Like, I mean, Russ, and I'll call him Russ because you do. I would have just called him like Mr. Wilson or something. But like, he carries himself as a professional, right? And I think a lot of people, especially like of that tier, do that. So when there's somebody that's kind of going off the rails and just acting like, an asshole, is that something that he recognizes and talks about, or is it something he just ignores?
Oh, he recognizes it, but he's so, I mean, he's an adult. He knows how to handle that kind of stuff, and he kind of says his 2 cents and what he thinks about it, but it's kind of there and gone.
That's a good, honest answer. I was expecting the ESPN answer, and you didn't give that, so thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, really.
I appreciate that.
I do too.
We all need to wait, I just rolled last?
Yeah, wait, do you have anybody you want to add? I don't have anybody. Honestly, here's the thing. A lot of times it's influencers, but I don't follow any of them. I actually hear their names through this show a lot, and then I look them up and I get disgusted that way. But like, I don't really know anybody in this industry. Like, I don't follow a ton of people aside from, the
I really don't either. I mean, I have my opinions on a few people out there, but which is fine. I think in a nutshell, what kind of burns my ass a little bit is when you have a very young adult who is trying to give these life lessons and these speeches, and they've they haven't really gone through a rough patch, or they haven't, all these different things. You're 23, like you haven't had a child, you haven't had to bury anyone in your life. There's all these things that as we get older, fortunately, unfortunately, we have to go through. That's part of life. Yeah. But to sit here at 23, 25 as a young kid, and I'm not saying you're young, but obviously you don't do this. I creeped on your page the other day a little bit, and I checked out everything. But I think that's more what bothers me, when someone's sitting there trying to act like they have the answer and they don't. And it's that perception. So.
I agree. I appreciate it when somebody admits that they don't have the answer when they don't. Yeah. When they just admit, I don't know. I think people are afraid to use that. I don't know. It doesn't mean that you're not going to try to figure it out or not going to learn it. But there's a lot of times people ask me questions. They'll ask me training questions, and I just say the truth. I don't know. And I'll defer to somebody like Don. I'll defer to somebody who I trust, because I'm not in the position to give you advice on it, but I'm in position to, I want to learn about it. So I don't mind doing that.
I don't know are 3 very commonly used words.
I use them all the time. I mean, I just play stupid. Or am I playing?
Well,
I don't know.
Maybe not, but maybe a little bit of both. I love you, dude. I'm kidding.
All right, we got a question. So
I like this wheel.
We had a question. The only one I recall is, it was from and this is going to be kind of tough because you don't know anything about these people, but it was a woman writing in that she wanted help getting her 12-year-old ready for flag football, and if you had anything that you could help with. And I guess we would probably have to start with something real basic, since we have no idea about this person. Yeah. Let's assume that she's putting on this helmet, and I'm her.
Looks good.
So I'm the person you're giving advice to. So what would you tell me?
Am I going to see this kid in person, or is this just like over the internet?
Let's go over the internet, and then we'll go in person, because I think that's a really good thing that you brought up, because it would change. Plus, if you don't want to see me in person, it's
oh my God, stop it! Unbelievable.
But so what advice would you give, say, online? So you do take a time out of your day to answer this question. What is it that you'd say?
Yeah, I mean, I would want to know what their background is and what they've been doing, and what kind of sports they've been involved in. But 12 years old is a good time to kind of start your strength in some ways, and your speed. I'd say speed and kind of your agility, because that time of year you're going through a lot of changes, so your body's going to change a ton. So not to get discouraged with being lanky or whatever that looks like, but just work on your body movement and your skills in that arena. I think everything kind of comes with that. But if you develop really good hand-eye coordination and your speed and your linear and lateral movements, I think a lot of stuff comes after that.
So now I'm going to meet you in person. So, I find a way to get into your daily schedule. I don't know how, but I pry it in there, and I ask for some help. What's the first thing you do? Push me over to make sure I get balance?
Yeah. See if they land on their feet.
Yeah.
No, I think I would have, put them through a little warm up, watch their movement in their warm up, their balance. Maybe put them through a couple build-ups or sprints, and see how their mechanics work. Put them in some type of jumping, plyometric movement. But yeah, I would just be looking for basics right away, just how they move, what their coordination is.
So when you say how you move, like, is there something specific you're going to be looking for? Like, is there certain movement patterns that you're going to try to flag that are maybe not as developed?
Yeah, when I was working with the kids 5 years ago, the first thing I would see is their arm. Like if they're not matched up, their right arm with the right leg, that's just a big red flag right there. The first thing to change. High knees, getting their gaits right, getting their turnover rate right. Those are the things I look at right away, and I can assess that just from their first initial run right when they get on the field.
Last spin. Oh, she's gone.
This is you, right?
This woman's now going to be in the NFL thanks to you. So, just me?
I don't know.
That's it.
Take it. I'm giving it to you anyway. I wonder who it was.
See that fall? It's kind of
And your foot's not on there. That was one of the best.
All right, we got this. We got spelling bee.
Ooh.
So
spelling bee, let's go.
Okay, I don't know how good of a speller you are. I'm terrible. So I'm going to give you 3 common words that are often misspelled and see how you do at them.
Okay.
Number 1 is bizarre.
There's a Bizzare.
Close. B-I-Z.
One Z.
Yeah, A-R-R-E.
Yeah, double
I
R.
wouldn't have gotten a double R. I would have gotten.
I didn't have Bizzarre.
Yes.
I totally screwed up. I went Bizzarre.
See, yeah, that's
but I had the double R's.
Double.
I just had double.
Okay.
Yeah, double.
Committee.
Committee?
Yes.
Whew. Man. Let's see. COMMITY?
No. Don?
Double M, double T?
No.
COMMITTEE.
COMMITTEE.
Wow.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, that's what I was told.
I thought that was a trick question. I was going for the doubles.
Double.
I'll
double check later.
No,
How do you not check
that? That sounds right.
I would have got it right.
COMITTEE.
Double M, double T, double E. Last one, and this is one I screw up consistently whenever I spell it. So maybe you guys got this one. Calendar.
Ooh.
I think I got this one. Go first.
It's the one letter, but
Yes.
yeah. CAL.
Yeah.
Here we go. I think it's A.
No.
NDER.
Don?
What did he say? He said CALANDER. DER. I'll say CALENDER.
CALENDAR.
Oh, I was guessing.
Yeah, so,
that was a guess.
Opposite.
I do the A as well. The calendar.
Yeah.
Like I do that.
Those are tough.
Wait,
Those are hard.
CALENDAR.
Yes.
Okay. Calendar.
This has been a lot of fun. I hope you had a good time hanging with us a little bit.
Absolutely.
And, it was good getting to know you. Can you do us a favor and let people know where they can find you?
Yeah. Instagram is where you can find me. Decker Davis _fit. Starting to post a lot more workouts and just kind of stuff that all types of people can get it in the gym and use, whether that's an athlete or just the common person who wants to move or the mom. I did a lot of stuff with Sierra when she was coming out of after she had Sienna. So just some basic stuff and some more explosive stuff. So whatever you're looking for, you can find it.
I love it.
Well, I don't know what episode this is.
I don't either, but I know this is at ZRaz on his Instagram handle, at Don Saldino. And if you want to ask us a question, it's reps@muscleandfitness.com.
Yeah. And one more time where they can find you?
Yeah, Decker Davis _fit.
There it is.
Decker,
right.
Good luck to you this season.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Cool. Talk to you soon, man.
Thanks again, brother.
All right, guys. Thanks so much.
Take care.
See ya.